Why does ad revenue go up during the US election? In fact, why does ad revenue fluctuate so much all year? For that matter, ad revenue is dependent on the amount of people that wants to advertise on you, their budgets, and what time of year. So obviously certain people have more money available to them at certain times dependent on their niche and dependent on your niche as well. So if you're a kids channel playing with kids toys, you're not going to get insurance adverts and mortgage adverts against it. And on the flip side, if you're talking about the fine detail of stocks and shares and investing, an advert for Mattel's latest Power Ranger isn't something that's going to entice your audience. Let's set a level playing field. Let's assume that you are fair game to any advertiser. So why is your advertising rates fluctuating? I know that this can nag away at small YouTubers. As you grow, you see the figures go up and up and up, and then it drops off, and you're worried why. You may have even started banking on that money as part of your income, or choosing to reinvest that into pieces of equipment on your channel, whether it's a new microphone, whether it's a new camera, anything really. I'll generalize this for you. In spring, you've got Valentine's Day and Easter. These are the first new advertising occasions that companies can jump in on it. In spring, you're thinking about the warmer weather and the snow disappearing and the longer days coming in the long run. We hit summer and there's summer holidays and vacations and insurance, and you've got more time in the evening, so more alcohol and more events and spring break and freedom. In autumn, or fall as you call it in America, you've got the wonderful family gatherings. The leaves start falling off the trees and everything becomes a little bit more homely. You've got Halloween and Amazon Prime Day, maybe even Black Friday sales depending on where they move it. And let's be honest, most companies nowadays advertise for the entire month of October or November leading up to that special event. You've got the end of summer sales, getting rid of all of those bikinis. You may be booking for a holiday next year because you've just come off of one and you really want to do it next year. And then you've got the money-making months of November and December, where of course you've got all of those leads up, and you've got your Thanksgiving and your definite Black Friday, and then you've got Christmas, and there's money flying all over the place. And all of those businesses want a chunk of that income. They're putting out adverts there to make sure that they're bringing you in to get their slice of the online pie. Yeah, but Alan, calm down. We're here to talk about the US election and how that affects the income. That does play into this. The American election, for people that are outside of the US and aren't too au fait, including myself, tends to fall in November every 4 years. But the American election cycle pretty much is 3 years in office and then a year's worth of canvassing, trying to figure out who's going to be the next person up against the current sitting president. The current sitting president normally defends their position unless they're already at the end of a 2-term sitting. In other words, in America you can sit twice for 4 years, and at the end of your second term you can't run again for a 3rd term because your name is not Vladimir Putin, for example. But the general consensus is either it's two fresh faces against each other, Democrat or Republican, a Republican president against a Democrat fresh face, or a Democrat president against a Republican fresh face. And there's all this lead up, whether you're winning representation of your specific party, whatever. All of that throws loads of money around against those specific people to win that vote, to win that nomination, to go up against the current sitting president or the other fresh face. But then it kicks into overdrive. At the end of the 4th year, around about September, October, everyone starts juggling for these votes, whether it's postal votes, whether it's actual electoral votes in November, and there's a lot of money that's thrown at YouTube and American citizens during this time. You've got to think of all of that funding, and all they're trying to do is outperform each other on these social platforms, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, whether it's paid adverts on websites. So the reason that your AdSense revenue goes up during US election times is not only are they throwing loads of money in, but of course it's in that golden kind of last 3 months of the year where everyone's got budget for their business to throw a load of money at you, right? Whether it happens to be, once again, the Halloween trends, the Black Friday trends, or, they're trying to get the early sales in for Christmas. And then, of course, you hit January when the world just decides that they've spent too much money and they're just not going to spend anymore, and it dives off the end of a cliff. So in your head, remember seasonality. If you're going to be creating content in January, there's probably not a budget there anymore. But at the end of spring is when things start to warm up, including budget purse strings. And if you truly want to get the most out of stuff, then the big hitters are normally around in October, November, December, whether it happens to be seasonal shopping or whether it is the US election itself. But to earn more, you can always boost your YouTube CPM. In other words, how much you are paid per 1,000 views. There's a video here. Go and check it out. I'll see you in the next video.